What if I told you Cardi B and Stefon Diggs might secretly be back together right now?
Y'all, I don't know if Cardi B and Stefon Diggs best together or if this just a grace period. You know, before the baby turn one, when you look at the baby and it reminds you of the baby daddy, it reminds you of the baby mama, you be like, damn, you know what, I might need to go see if we can be a family. But this time he broke his whole family to come see Cardi B in concert. And then after the after party, they done left together, so...
Yeah, the same couple everyone wrote off just months ago. She barely spoke his name during Super Bowl weekend. Now he is backstage holding their newborn son, and she looks happier than ever.
All we know is as soon as Cardi B broke up with him, we broke up with him too. But regardless of whatever, I guess they back on. I guess we're going to start back talking about Stefon Diggs. So what's going on with that case? I don't know.
So what actually changed behind the scenes? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you will see exactly why fans are calling this the most confusing celebrity relationship of the year, and why almost everyone online keeps screaming that she deserves so much better than the situation.
Cardi B, I see you, and you deserve more. Cardi B, I see you, and you deserve more. And for all of you out there that do not like her music or think that she's too much, fair. You are entitled to your opinion, but I still think she deserves better.
The truth runs way deeper than what people are seeing on the surface. She knows how to work an audience better than almost anyone in the music industry right now. She does not hide behind some polished public relations team. She does not let a manager filter every single word for her. She hops on Instagram Live like it is nothing.
You're right for me. I make you look good, nigga. You. Look at the bitch. You. I don't care. Look at the bitch and I'm a matter of fact, oh, look at this. I don't want to see it. So what? You was gonna him anyways, nigga. All you gotta do is get drunk, and them bitches gonna throw you that for 2,000. You gotta survive out here.
She slides into Twitter Spaces and just talks to people. Real time, no script, no filter, no corporate energy at all. And that approach is exactly why her fan base feels so different from everyone else in the game. Most artists keep a thick wall up around their personal life. Cardi B does the complete opposite of that approach. She talks about her relationships and her struggles like she is talking to family at the kitchen table.
But I have been afraid to, I'm not afraid, I just don't know how, to tell the world. But I feel like today has been like a sign. The last time I got on live, I kind of wanted you guys to tell you. I kind of wanted to tell you guys, but I didn't know how to tell you. So I was like, I changed my mind.
It does not feel staged. It does not feel rehearsed. It feels raw. It feels real. And that connection is absolute gold for her career. According to data from Music Watch, artists who engage directly with their fans on social platforms see nearly 3 times higher streaming loyalty. 3 times. Let that number sink in for a second. This is not just about being likable on camera. This is a documented strategy that builds entire empires from the ground up. And Cardi B has mastered it on a level most artists cannot even touch. Nicki Minaj does the same thing in her own lane. She stays plugged in with the barbs like nobody else in the game today. That kind of constant access creates serious emotional investment from fans. It builds something far bigger than just music. It turns into loyalty, sympathy, protection at all costs. Now here is where this story gets really interesting. When the situation between Cardi B and Stefon Diggs started catching mainstream attention, something wild happened online. Fans from every age group started speaking on it like it was personal. Different ages, different lives, different perspectives entirely. But somehow they were saying the exact same thing. Cardi B deserves way better than what she is putting up with right now, and that exact pattern is showing up everywhere on the internet. So why does everyone feel that way so deeply? Think about what Cardi B represents in people's minds for a second. She has the fame, she has the money, she has access to anyone she wants on the planet. When you stack all of that up, people assume she should pick from the top shelf and have the perfect relationship. But here's the question almost nobody wants to ask out loud. Does success in one area automatically guarantee success in love? I am personally not so sure about that anymore. Let me take you back to Super Bowl weekend earlier this year. The Patriots were going up against the Seahawks in a massive game. Reports were everywhere claiming Cardi B and Stefon Diggs were not in a good place. She barely mentioned him in interviews around that time. The energy felt completely off to everyone watching. The vibe was strange, the body language was weird, people noticed. Many were already calling the entire relationship a wrap. Then time keeps moving forward like it always does. We see different rumors, different stories, different angles every single week. Some sources confirmed that they had separated for good. Then out of nowhere, we get new pictures. Stefon Diggs standing backstage holding their newborn son like a proud father. Cardi B is right there looking genuinely happy beside him. That kind of public shift does not happen by accident at all. You already know how the internet reads into that energy instantly. People started flooding the comments saying they must be back together quietly.
And honestly, when it comes to those baby mamas and baby daddies, just mind your business, because it can go either way. One minute they might not mess with you, the next minute they want to party with you, celebrate with you, rock out with you, you know?
The vibe was just too obvious for fans to ignore. Now let me talk about the fans for a real moment here. Fans have been emotionally locked into the situation for months on end. Many of them genuinely believe Cardi B is dealing with a partner who is not on her level. For them, this is not just about her relationship anymore. It has become a full symbol. In their eyes, she has the fame, the money, the influence, and the platform. So she should be matched with someone bringing equal energy to the table. But here is where it gets even more personal for these fans. A lot of them are projecting their own dating standards onto her situation. Some are thinking, I would never settle for that kind of treatment. Others have settled before, and now they are extra passionate about what Cardi should accept. That personal projection is fueling so much of this online debate every single day.
It is what it is. I'm still a fan regardless if she with him or not. But they're together. The whole family was at the show. And Stefon Diggs couldn't stop smiling, boy. He was so happy to let the cat out of the hat. He was so happy. He was so, and the mama too. The mama was so happy, like she's the one in the relationship. But you know what? I'm happy for my girl. She's always smiling when she's with him, so it is what it is.
Now let me make something very important clear right now. I have zero issue with women wanting exactly what they want in a partner. If you have standards, stand on them every single day of your life. There is no debate about that whatsoever. But there has been a strange conversation floating around online lately. Some people are claiming men are deliberately trying to lower women's confidence to gain control in the dating market. That perspective exists out there. People believe it, they preach it constantly. But speaking honestly from my own experience and observation, that is not where most men are coming from. I cannot speak for every man walking the planet, but the average guy is not sitting around plotting on women all day. He is focused on his own bills, his own career, and his own goals. That conspiracy mindset adds noise that most people do not need in their lives. At the end of the day, you have every right to ask for what you want in a partner. No debate there at all. But here comes the uncomfortable part nobody wants to address openly. If someone keeps ending up in the same kind of situation over and over again, what does that really mean? If everyone keeps saying you deserve better, but the outcome keeps repeating itself, you have to look at the actual pattern. If the result does not change, something deeper is going on internally. And ignoring that, something will not make it magically disappear. Now, this is the perfect moment to pause and ask you something directly. Drop a comment below right now and tell me your honest opinion. Do you think Cardi B and Stefon Diggs are actually back together for real this time? Or do you think this is just another temporary moment before the next public breakup? I genuinely read every single comment, so do not hold anything back. Let me know exactly what you think is really happening here. She is talented, she is successful, she has made serious money in the industry. But being a successful artist does not automatically guarantee a perfect partner. It does not hand you a top-tier relationship with a bow on top. Look at Nicki Minaj for living proof. She had every option in the world and still made her own personal choice when picking a husband. That decision created massive public conversation because of her partner's legal history. That history has clearly affected aspects of their life together over the years. So, success in one lane does not always translate into another lane cleanly. That is exactly what makes this whole conversation so layered and complicated. People want to keep it simple, but life never works that way in reality. Saying someone has no options or reducing it all down to low self-worth does not really hold up, especially for someone with the level of visibility that Cardi B has built over the years. A more grounded way to look at this situation goes like this. People can have plenty of options and still end up in messy on and off relationships because relationships are inherently complicated for everyone, no matter their net worth. Now, there is a bigger point buried inside all of this. It comes down to environment and patterns more than anything. Where someone comes from often shapes what they prioritize in a partner. Things like physical attraction, lifestyle, and status sometimes get prioritized first. Long-term qualities like consistency, responsibility, and stability sometimes come second. And let me be very clear about this important point. There is nothing wrong with wanting someone you are physically attracted to. That is completely normal and healthy. But if the attraction is there and the rest does not line up, you can get stuck fast. Mindset, discipline, communication. These things matter just as much. When those pieces are missing, you end up in repeating cycles year after year. Break up, make up, repeat, break up again. That is exactly the pattern fans are watching play out in public right now. People online keep yelling that she deserves better at the top of their lungs. But the real question is whether anything is actually changing behind the scenes. A change has to happen behind the curtain to create a different outcome. Without that internal change, the same story just keeps playing on repeat forever. There is a powerful saying that prices are not real. The market ultimately decides what your price will be. That idea hits hard when you really sit with it for a moment. It basically means the world responds to what you consistently show up as, not what you claim to be on a given day. This is exactly where fans get a little disconnected from reality. People online can scream, "She deserves better" all day long. But they are not the ones inside the actual relationship. They are not making the choices that play out in real life. At the same time, it is not as simple as saying someone cannot attract a certain type of partner. High-profile relationships come with real pressure that most people cannot imagine. Constant attention, constant scrutiny, cameras everywhere they go. Not everyone wants to deal with that level of public exposure on a daily basis. There is also another major factor to consider here. Being open online about your personal life can make private relationships harder to manage privately. When everything has the chance to become public, tension stacks up incredibly fast. Most people do not have to deal with that pressure at all in their lives. So when you put it all together, this story is not just about deserving better. It is about patterns, choices, public pressure, and actual change over time. Saying someone should be left alone for who they date is fair, but framing it like they deserve a very specific type of partner can twist quickly. People do not deserve disrespect or unhealthy treatment ever. That part is completely non-negotiable. But patterns show up clearly when the same kinds of choices keep getting made repeatedly. If someone keeps landing in similar situations, that connects to what they prioritize, what they overlook, what they are willing to accept long-term. It is not about blaming anyone for their circumstances. It is about recognizing the cycle and asking why it keeps repeating itself. Nobody deserves disrespect or toxic behavior, period. That is not even a debate point worth having. But if someone keeps choosing partners without focusing on key qualities, the result will look familiar every single time. Consistency, accountability, maturity, emotional intelligence. Those traits matter way more than people realize until later in life. That is why people often say it feels like picking the same person in a different body. The outside details change, but the core traits stay identical underneath. That is what keeps the cycle alive year after year after year. When it comes to Cardi B specifically, fans see her through one very specific lens: charismatic, open, emotionally expressive, funny, real. That is the version they connect with the most online. But relationships behind closed doors require a totally different set of dynamics. The public never gets to see that full picture, no matter how much she shares. Reducing her situation down to that is all she can do does not hold up at all. She clearly has influence, she has options, she has resources beyond most people. The real issue is about alignment more than anything else. What someone wants versus what they consistently choose to accept. Those two things often do not match up at all. Now, that market idea is not as cold as it sounds at first listen. There is a real point hiding inside that quote. If you want a certain kind of partner, you usually have to align your habits and standards to attract that outcome. That applies to everyone, not just women, not just men. Growth matters on both sides of any healthy relationship. Without it, people stay stuck in the same loop forever. No amount of fame, money, or status can override that fundamental truth. At the end of the day, this is not really about saying she deserves better. It is about asking what actually changes to create something better. Real change starts internally. It never starts with the partner. That is the lesson hiding inside this whole drama if you look closely enough. So that is where this Cardi B and Stefon Diggs situation really stands today. It is way messier than the headlines make it look, deeper than the comment sections want to admit, and far more layered than anyone wants to acknowledge out loud. The truth is that patterns reveal themselves over time, not overnight. and only the people inside the relationship can actually change them. Everyone else is just watching from the sidelines, making noise online. If you found this breakdown valuable and you want more honest celebrity analysis like this, hit that subscribe button on Fame Thunder right now. You really do not want to miss what is dropping next. Stay locked in, stay sharp, and keep watching the patterns more than the headlines, because that is where the real story always lives.